If you've been chunking or thinning your iron shots, you are not alone. But the fix to this and actually getting ball first, ground second is actually really simple, and we're going to cover it in 3 simple steps to get you striking the ball way more consistently and put an end to those fats and thins. So today I'm giving you the 3 quickest steps to striking your irons better. Let's get straight into it. So tip number 1 is really simple. Essentially, when we start with an iron, we want to make sure that we've got slightly more weight on the left side. What we've got to remember is when we strike the golf ball, we're aiming for more weight on the left side. So by starting just slightly left, and the easy way to do that is just to very slightly nudge or bump the hip to the left towards the target, so that the left hip, the left knee and the left ankle all line up. So if you imagine one straight line, all of those are aligned. We don't have the hips sitting too far to the right. That gets the pressure and the weight on the back foot. So before you start, we want to nudge the hips slightly to the left, get another 5% of weight left, and that is really going to help us get ball first, ground second, and get us ready for compression. So that is a really simple thing we can do. Also helps our tilts so that we turn properly in our backswing. So definitely not to be overlooked. It is very simple. We just get those, we just nudge the hips to the left, get that straight line, slightly more weight on the left, and that sets us up ready for some nice crispy iron shots. So just before we go to tip number 2, if you're brand new to the channel, if you've never seen the videos before, make sure you click that subscribe button, click the like button, and if there's anything you've not seen on the channel that you want some help with, make sure you comment down below. So tip number 2 is the backswing. In the backswing, we want to keep our hips very centered. So we want to turn well, but we don't want to sway too much. We see a lot of sway in poor ball strikers, so from setup, these hips start to move away from the target, and with that makes ball striking and getting the low point of your swing after the ball really difficult. So what we want to do, once we have set up and nudged the hips, we want to make sure that we rotate. And if we think of where the belt buckle is, actually, there's not a huge amount of rotation in the takeaway. Then once that takeaway kicks in, we want the hips or the belt buckle to almost be in line with the golf ball. We don't want it to be too far behind the golf ball, almost in line. And what we can see from this data here on the screen, generally the hips shouldn't be shifting away from the target. So if we can get a really nice centered rotation, we're going to get more rotation, which is great for speed, but also that makes the job of getting the weight on the left leg, which is ultimately what we need to do for shaft lean, compression, all the good stuff we want with irons. It just makes it so much easier. So a great drill that you can do, if you do your normal setup, if you pull a golf ball and just place it under your pinky toe. So just under your pinky toe, and what that's going to do is, so it's on the outside of the foot and it's on the toe. It's going to stop us moving onto the outside of our foot, which can be the trigger for a sway. And it's also going to encourage us to turn into this right hip, which again is absolutely crucial. If this right hip can work properly in the backswing and work its way back into the right heel without this buckling, you're going to have a really good hip movement in your backswing. So let's give that drill a go just now. So again, under the pinky toe of your right foot, that's going to help us turn into the right heel. Inside of the right heel is the goal here. That's going to help us rotate well, no sway. As long as you push off of it, that's going to lead to some really nice ball striking. So if you struggle with a sway, this is possibly one of the best drills you can do on the range, on the course, and a bit of practice, and it gets you all the feels required to turn this right hip and not to sway it off the ball. So number 3 is, in my opinion, the most important, and it really differentiates the really good ball strikers from the not so good. So what we want to do, we want to make sure you become one of those very good ball strikers. And what that is lateral movement. Essentially keeping this really simple, getting your weight, getting your hips to move and shift to the left. There's a lot of golfers out there that are really thinking about rotating the hips as much as possible. If you do it too early, that can actually lead to a spin out over the top move, so we want that to happen later in the swing, but we need the lateral shift. If we can see here on the screen a few different golfers for you, we've got Tommy Fleetwood, we've got Rory McIlroy, we've got a few golfers here to illustrate how left you need to get with the hips. If you can start to get to the top and shift the hips to the left, so again, thinking of the belt buckle, thinking of the left hip, moving towards the target, that moves the bottom of the swing after the golf ball, and that's when we start to get consistency in strike. So a really simple thing that you guys can do is just place an alignment stick or a golf club on the floor, and we take our setup and our belt buckle is going to be on top of that stick. To tie all of this together, we're going to slightly nudge to the left, we're going to turn and have the belt buckle almost in line with the stick. And what I want you guys to feel is from here, rather than the upper body going first, which is going to get us in some trouble here, we want to take it to the top and we want the hips. So think of this belt buckle. We want it to move to the left of this cane or golf club, whatever you put down on the floor. We want it to move to the left. We want the left hip to start moving over the left ankle and the left shoulder to also move on top of this left ankle. That's lateral movement, moving to the side, moving towards the target. If we take it to the top and we don't have lateral movement and drop our arms, we consistently hit the ground before the ball, so the bottom of the swing is here, you're going to get fats, or your club will swing up and you'll thin it. If we can take it up to the top, shift to the left, so get that lateral movement, then swing the arms down, look where the club strikes the ground. Every single time, even the cane, to the left side. So that low point goes from being really inconsistent or consistent to the point where you hit a lot of bad shots to being very consistent because of that weight shift. If you don't do this, this will be the one that feels strange to you. So we want to go to the top. Everything lower body is moving left. So the knees move towards the target, the belt buckle moves towards the target, the left shoulder, left hip moves over this left foot. Really important that we do that. Also from the down the line, if we do that, you're going to start to get the arms lowering. You're going to get lots of good stuff to happen in the downswing. So give that a try, get that cane down to the top, lateral, shift, left, 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 left. Then the rotation and the spin phase starts to happen. So for numbers, we've got Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele. These guys are moving their hips 3, 4, 5 inches further to the left than where they started. And that is so important. That's what you guys need to do if you want to strike your irons really, really well. So let's take it to the top. Let's shift to the left. Let's strike it lovely, divot on the left side of this cane and really start improving your irons. So that leads us on to 3 questions and 3 answers. So, is this doable for a senior golfer or an older golfer? The answer is yes. It might be slightly easier to keep the hips turning and centered by either bringing the right foot back or flaring the right foot out a little bit, if that feels difficult, but absolutely, and that should actually increase club head speed. So how would you go about doing this at home? This is actually quite simple. If you've got a ball or a chair, here's 2 drills that you can do at home. We can place a ball between the left hip and a wall and make sure that it doesn't fall down, or we can place a chair on our right hip and try and miss that chair with that right hip. That's really good for keeping those hips centered. And how do we strike the ground after the ball all the time? It is as simple as that. Ultimately, the main goal is at impact, we are looking for the hips to be shifted to the left, the upper body to be on top of the golf ball, not way behind the golf ball. And with that, you probably find you get a little bit of shaft lean, and that consistently leads to striking the ground after the golf ball. That's when we start to get consistency in strike. So there you go, there's 3 amazing things that you can do to pure your iron shots really quickly, 3 actionable steps with some drills to go away and pure your irons. If you'd like any extra help for free with your golf, check out the description link below. We've got 2 things for you. We've got a free swing analysis via the Skillest app, and we've got a free 60-minute practice plan, which you can click, download, take to the range, and start improving your practice. So there you have it, get the weight more to the left, have a nice centered turn in the backswing, and then lead with the hips, get left, get lateral, and you will strike your irons a million times better. And if it's helped you out, make sure you smash that like button. If you'd like any extra help with your iron play, make sure you check out this video just here.